I am begging you to stop being so damn nice, because here's a truth bomb. 40 plus years of playing the good girl has left you exhausted, invisible, and stuck. If you're a woman over 45 trying to reinvent her life, you have to realize that nice is just a mask you were taught to wear to make everyone else comfortable. You've spent decades managing everybody else's emotions. It is time to stop. Your second act doesn't need a nice girl. It needs a woman with a backbone. And if you're saying, well, I like being nice, I don't want to be a jerk, let me just be clear about something. When you stop being nice, it doesn't mean you have to be a jerk or a bitch. And I'm going to address this bitch part in just a minute because I have some very strong thoughts about that word. If you're a woman who's ever swallowed what you wanted to say, smiled when you were furious, or put your needs on the back burner because you didn't want to upset the apple cart, this video is specifically for you. Hi, I'm Tess. This channel is for women over 45 who want to reinvent themselves and live their best damn lives. And I used to be the nice girl. Helpful, agreeable, never a problem. But I was also miserable, exhausted, and completely invisible. And it turns out those things were related. So let me take you back to when I was in the 11th grade. I was kind of this middle of the road high schooler, not really popular, but not really an outcast either. I was basically Molly Ringwald in 16 Candles. And I remember there was this girl in my high school named Mandy. And Mandy was bubbly and friendly and everybody liked her. She was nice. And I distinctly remember one day telling myself, I want to be like Mandy. So I purposely set out to be as nice as I could to everybody because I thought if I did, then everybody would like me the way they like Mandy. And then shortly after that, a friend told me that someone had called me selfish behind my back. And I was like, what? Selfish? How am I selfish? What did I do? They weren't specific about why, but it gutted me because that was the exact opposite of how I wanted to be perceived. So I doubled down on being nice. I became overly nice because I definitely didn't want people to think I was selfish. And I continued with that attitude for decades. And what happened after that was a lifetime of being a doormat, being walked all over, being taken advantage of. Friends would turn to me with their problems and they'd wind up monopolizing the entire conversation because all they wanted to talk about was themselves, while I had nobody who would listen to me. I attracted men who used me, got what they wanted, and then dumped me after they were done. And I always thought there was something wrong with me. I never asserted myself or expressed my opinion because I was afraid people wouldn't like me. And all this led to crippling low self-esteem because I wound up attracting all these narcissists and really self-involved people who loved that I was so accommodating and never challenged them. And when you put everyone else's needs first, you put yours last. And then you start to believe that you're not worthy of being put first. So I would go along with what everybody else wanted to do because I thought my opinion just wasn't valuable. And in conversations, I would sit there and listen to people drone on and on about themselves, nodding and listening. And I would never share anything about myself because I just thought I wasn't that interesting. I thought my life was boring and that nobody really wanted to hear anything that I was saying. And that if I did share, they would get bored. And you know what? That thought was reinforced because sometimes they did get bored and they would suddenly have to pick up another call or they'd interrupt me with more details about their life. But it wasn't because I wasn't interesting or valuable. It's because I attracted these incredibly selfish people whose only concern was themselves. It turns out I enabled their bad behavior and they enabled mine. It's funny when I make these videos and I look back at my life, sometimes it can be a little tough because I'm finally realizing how destructive I was with some of my actions that I thought were really innocuous. And it can be a little painful. And the reason I'm sharing this is not because I want to open up old wounds, but because I finally opened my eyes and I want to share with you anyone who is in the same situation. Maybe I can open your eyes to it and make you realize that what you're doing is destructive to your life too. So if you've ever compromised yourself or pushed yourself down in the false belief that you were just being nice, it's time to take a good look at what's really going on. And by the way, if you are a woman over 45 who wants to reinvent her life, then I invite you to download my Midlife Reinvention Starter Kit. This is a step-by-step guide designed to help you get unstuck so you can build a life you're actually thrilled about. And it's totally free, and the link is in the description, so be sure to download it there. It's time to start rebuilding your life. And also, please subscribe to my channel and share this with a friend who you think might need it. That's just gonna help us reach more women and help them live their best damn lives. So there's one common misconception, and that is that being nice is the same thing as being kind, but it's not. Nice is external. Kind is internal. Nice is about managing how others perceive you, and it's more of a performance rooted in fear. Fear of conflict, fear of disapproval, fear of being disliked. When you're nice, you say yes when you mean no. You smile when you want to scream, and you shrink yourself to keep the peace. It's basically a people-pleasing survival strategy dressed up as virtue. Kind is about genuine care for others and for yourself, and it comes from values, not from fear. Kind people tell honest truths when necessary. They say no when they mean no, and they set boundaries, not just to protect themselves, but because healthy, honest boundaries are respectful to everybody involved. Kindness has a backbone. Niceness doesn't. Now, you can be nice and kind at the same time. Plenty of people are. And being nice sometimes isn't always bad. But when nice becomes your lifestyle and your default because you're trying so hard to be liked or you don't want to let anybody else down, that's when it becomes a problem. So if you've ever caught yourself saying things like, but I feel bad, or but I don't want them to think that I don't care, or I don't want them to be mad at me, girl, you're probably caught in the nice trap. Now, it's really not surprising that I turned out this way, or that you turned out this way if you're a woman over 45. When I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, these old-fashioned gender norms were still very much in play. Feminism came around in the 60s, but it still wasn't mainstream. And girls back then were taught to be nice. In fact, we'd hear so often from our parents or our teachers or other adults, be nice. If we told somebody what to do, we were called bossy, and not in a nice way. If a boy did the same thing, they would just chuckle and say, he's gonna be a great CEO one day. If we expressed an unpopular opinion, we'd get shut down right away and be told, nice girls don't say things like that. But with a boy, they would just say, he sure has a mind of his own. So we were conditioned to play the good girl from an early age. We were shaped by a society who wanted to keep women pleasant and obedient and not the badass rabble-rousers that we were meant to be. But you can shed that old, outdated identity. And if you're watching this because you want to reinvent yourself later in life, you need to. You can't step into your best self and find true joy by continuing to put everybody else first. You need to become the main character in your own life. You need to tap into what makes you happy, what lights you up when no one else is involved. And this doesn't mean you don't show up for the people you love, but maybe you need to do it just a little bit less. So let me tell you a story. My mom's friend, Sharon, is just this funny, sweet woman. I absolutely love her. And she had a daughter, and she was always there for her, like most moms are. But her daughter had a flair for the dramatic and wound up calling her several times a day to complain about myriad things in her life. But Sharon had anxiety. And at some point it was so bad that she wound up being rushed to the hospital and then stayed in a mental health facility for a little while. And thankfully she got therapy afterwards. And during therapy, she admitted that her daughter calling her umpteen times a day was a big source of her stress. So the therapist told her, you need to set some boundaries with your daughter and limit these phone calls. And Sharon felt really weird about that because she wanted to be there for her daughter, but she couldn't do it that much without sacrificing her health. And honestly, her daughter had a difficult time with that at first. She didn't really get it, but eventually she did. She did understand because she loved her mom and didn't want her to suffer. Now I'm going to address this bitch phenomenon, and this drives me crazy. And I'm calling this part of the video the bitch slap, because anytime a woman does anything that is not overwhelmingly nice, she is slapped with this label of bitch. When we stand up for ourselves, we're called a bitch. When we say no, we're called a bitch. When we stand strong in our opinion, we're called a bitch. Now, I don't even like the word bitch, and I don't even use it unless I'm using it on myself or as a term of endearment to a friend, like, bitch, you doing a good job, which I say to myself all the time. Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. And obviously, no one wants to be called a bitch. I didn't, at least not in the past, but now I really don't care because I know I'm not a bitch. I'm a strong woman. I never call other women bitches, even if I don't like what they're doing or even if I don't like them so much, because it's dehumanizing and disrespectful to all women. I just don't use the word. And I really take issue when a man calls a woman a bitch, because a lot of the times they do that simply because they've been rejected by one or they're threatened by a woman. When a man calls a woman a bitch, that is a telltale sign of insecurity and, frankly, misogyny. Plain and simple. So don't ever hide your light or shrink yourself because you're afraid of being called a bitch by anyone. I will back you up, girl. When you stop being nice, you teach people to respect you. I spent years being the good girl, being Mandy, and all it got me was resentment, insecurity, and no idea what I really wanted. When I stopped being nice and started being kind, especially to myself, everything changed. My relationships got more honest, my standards got higher, and for the first time in my life, I actually liked who I was showing up as, and I respected myself. And I know this stuff isn't always easy to hear, because if you were like me, you spent a lifetime thinking that nice is just who you were. But it's not. It's what you were taught. The real you, the one who has opinions and standards and boundaries, she is still in there. And she's just waiting for you to stop apologizing for her and start being the bad mama jamma that I know you are. Now, a lot of the times when we're too nice, it is because we are caring too much what other people think. So if you just give me 12 minutes, I will make you stop caring what other people think in this video here. So watch that next, and I will see you over there, my bad mama jamma.